Yeah, my name is Boughlala Mohammed. I'm the head of the Settat Research Center, which is one of the 10 research centers of INRA Morocco. Yeah, we have the particularity of having the gene bank, national gene bank in our center. It's a very important gene bank. We have about 74,000 accessions collected from all regions of Morocco, and the conservation of genetic resources are very important for future generation. And as I said, the example of it's like you have a car and you are traveling through the desert, and if you have a bag where you have your tools, and if you have a problem in your car, you can easily fix your car. And if you don't have tools, so what is the price of a small tool that you need for fixing your car? It's have no price. So it's the same of genetic resources. They are very important for our future generation. Those genetic resources will help to ensure food security, and also can give solution to climate change and also adaptation to those climate change in the future. We are very pleased to receive all the participants from other countries, from different countries and different environments, and we are also pleased and open to share our experience in genetic resources conservation, and also to share also our genetic resources through collaboration with the countries. The Stats Research Center was created in early 80s with a collaboration between Morocco and United States aid through a project called MIAC project, and we work on many topics, mainly new varieties improvements, cereal and food legumes. For cereals, we have bread wheat and durum wheat, and for food legumes, mainly lentils and chickpea. We have also a program on soil fertility, soil physics, animal production, all problems related to crop disease, and also we have a laboratory, and which is the only one in INRA for the machinery, and we have a lot of innovation on machinery tools, mainly no-till seeders. And also, as you know, we have at the moment the only gene bank, national gene bank, representing all the genetic resources for Morocco. So welcome, and we are very pleased to receive you in our center, and if you have some question, it's a pleasure. We will give you answer and explanation. Thank you, Dr. Sabata.
Thank you, Dr. Boughlala. I invite my colleague, Mr.
Just if Dr. Akmal, could you please give just a very short presentation of the project, and maybe just
the learning routes, yeah,
of the audience?
About the project in general.
Yeah.
Yes, project is started in 2018. It's funded by IFAD. We have Representative Isabel Stardo, our grants manager from IFAD headquarters in Rome. This particular project is looking at strengthening institutional knowledge management, that it looks at what are the institutions in a particular sector. In this one, we are considering agriculture sector, mainly because we have 3 thematic areas, which is looking at agricultural productivity improvement, natural resource management, and then financial inclusion of women and youth. We are looking at several stakeholders in each country. Focus countries, we have Moldova. You have representatives here from Moldova. And we have 6 people which arrived from Moldova. We have Sudan as a focus country. We have 7 representatives at the moment visiting us here. And then we have Morocco as a 3rd focus country. These 3 focus countries looking at these 3 thematic areas. And we are working in each of these focus countries with several stakeholders, like 4 or 5. And in Morocco, we are working with the area Sandu, and then INRA, ONCA, and MMNS. And similar situation is in other countries. We try to make a typology of different institutions with whom we work, is covering academic area, research area, and also some extension, civil society areas, the typology of the stakeholders involved. And what we are trying to promote is that cooperation and facilitation exchange between these institutional stakeholders in each country, across the country, and then across the region, because here we have countries represented by different regions also, not only the countries but also regions. So, we have a capacity building component which consists of several trainings and also several learning routes, and this particular visit is part of the learning route, where we look for best practices, document those case studies which are presented by our national stakeholders in a particular country, and then we try to promote that we take some messages home, looking at best practices which are coming from these particular institutions in each country. Maybe, I don't know, Isabel, you would like to add some few words. The project is co-implemented, led by ICARDA, co-implemented by CIHEAM-Bari. We have Jocelyn as a representative from CIHEAM-Bari. We have a partner also, Virginia Tech, from US. And
PROCASUR.
also, representative is not here, Jeffrey Alban.
PROCASUR.
We work closely with him. And then PROCASUR is who developed this methodology of learning routes. Thank you.
So the project document that the project is ending by the end of this year.
Project ending is this year.
And hopefully this learning route will be an opportunity to develop some kind of partnership between the countries and at even institutional levels. So let's move to my colleague, Mr. Abdelali Mouid, who will give you a good short presentation on this case study on gene bank.
Thank you, and on behalf of all the participants in this project, I would like to thank Mr. Bourlala for the warm welcoming. Thank you, and also for all the staff of INRA staff. I will give just a short introductory presentation before the experts of genetic resources conservation will give also their presentations. So our case study, it's about genetic resources management strategy for sustainable agricultural development in Morocco. So for those who are not specialists or from other backgrounds, so just a small definition about genetic resources. So it's a genetic material of potential or actual value to mankind. So genetic material is any material of living organisms containing functional units of heredity. So as example, for plant genetic resources, it consists of the diversity of genetic materials contained in traditional varieties, modern varieties, and for the use as food, feed, fiber, clothing, shelter. So we have also, and this is why we are here, a gene bank for orthodox seeds. And my colleague Dr. Sahri will explain a little bit about that. I would just say that it was established in 2003, and there is many activities that there are many activities that they do, like prospecting, conservation, evaluation, cataloging, multiplication, and finally they allow a good use by, especially by plant breeders that use genetic diversity to create improved crops, varieties with traits such as yield, pest resistance, and environment stress adaptation.
Welcome to the Regional Center of Agricultural Research of CIHEAM. So I'm Ali Sahri, I'm a researcher at the INRA Gene Bank, and I will just talk. I have just a brief presentation. I will just talk about general information on the gene bank, and also I will talk about our activities on this gene bank. So Morocco is one of the richest countries around the Mediterranean rim in terms of vascular flora. So we have about more than 400 species representing 930 genus and 130 families. 4,000. Ah, sorry, yeah, 4,000. Yeah, thank you. Morocco is also a center of specific diversity and genetic diversity of many species. So specific diversity, it means that in one genera we have many species, and specific genetic diversity means that in one species we have different morphotype. So, for example, Morocco is center of specific diversity of Avena, Ordeum, Medicago, but it's a center of genetic diversity of Triticum and other species. However, this diversity these plant genetic resources are about to disappear and are endangered. So, for this reason, the INRA decided to create a gene bank. So the gene bank was established in 2003, and the main objective of the INRA gene bank is sustainable conservation and efficient use of plant genetic resources in Morocco. So the capacity of the INRA gene bank is about 80,000 entries or introduction. We have the management was according to international standards. And all crop conserved at INRA are produce orthodox seeds. So this is a table representing the genera conserved at the INRA gene bank. So as you can see, the most represented genera are Triticum, which is wheat, durum wheat, bread wheat, and wild relatives, followed by Hordeum, it means barley, Medicago, and so Avena, Zea, and other genera. So this is the table of what we conserve in our gene bank. So in addition to the conservation activities, we have 5 other activities. The first one is, I will detail these activities when you will visit the gene bank. So just a brief presentation. So we have the first activity is collection or new introduction, multiplication. This is the second activity. The third activity is characterization. The fourth is storage or conservation. The fifth activity is distribution, and the last one is documentation. I will talk about this when you will visit the gene bank. So just some statistics about the main achievements during the last 5 years. So we collect 224 accessions from different regions of Morocco, because we are not mandated to do the collection mission outside the country, just inside the country. So we receive 60,000 accessions from different national and international research centers. For example, from ICARDA, we receive more than 3,000 accessions. We multiply these 5 years more than 7,000 accessions, and we distribute about 1,600 accessions for research purposes.
We would be pleased to share with you through collaboration or our resources and also our knowledge and experience in this field. Recently, our accounting unit in Rabat asked us, please give us what are the evaluation in terms of money of this 74 accession. I told them, it's a lot of, you cannot give an estimation, a price of this genetic resources. It's a wealth, it's a national wealth. This is, I think, the genetic resources will be very, very useful for our future generation, for our also food security strategy, and I think for all of us. And it will be also a wealth if we can exchange our genetic resources and our experience in this field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Boulala. And before closing this first part session, if you have any questions, 5 minutes.
Just one question to Mr. Abdallah. Economists always have discussion. Financial resources are limited, that's why we keep asking the same question. So I know the target here in Morocco is about food security, so all the focus is on wheat, cereals, but there are other emergencies now. Pollinization with this beekeeping business. We are losing this biodiversity. Is it your scope or other ONSA or other bodies that are interested or having this business?
Thank you, Ahmed, for this question. As you know, we have just finished a project with ICARDA on these pollinators. This is, and we had a PhD students between Montpellier and ICARDA. She conducted an assessment of the impact of the rehabilitation of these pollinators on their impact, economic impact, in some ecosystems, maybe in Saffaro, in this Middle Atlas, and for trees. And they think it's a really big program, and that's not only concern the Ministry of Agriculture, but concerns the Ministry of Environment too. And I think the effort now we are trying, INRA is trying to build a program on this kind of research that really means not only, because we have this problem of pollinators, and we have the problem of all this soil conservation and soil health. And we have this MCGP program that really tackles this kind of questions. How to rehabilitate our soils. Even, if you can use a fertilizer and use all this, but still, our soils, due to degradation, we have to do something new as a research for this kind of problems.
Je pense que c'est Dr. Ali. Donc, I have 2 questions. One regarding المشغول, the DAT, no? Donc, do you have any problem? Do you face the red palm weevil on this variety? L'insect, no? The insect? Red palm weevil, yeah. Do you have it? And another, is this variety resistant or not? The other question is regarding the wheat varieties, the best one, the local ones that you use for couscous.
Thank you for your question. The first question
is on date palm. So there is the varieties Majhul that Abdulaziz said he showed that it's big fruit and it has a problem of fusarium, it's bio, it's called bio. It is not resistant, but I know that there is a big program in Rashidiyah.
Pardon, vous êtes en train de parler d'une maladie fongique. C'est l'insecte, j'ai demandé sur l'insecte, le red. Il est en train de détruire les palmiers en Algérie ou en Tunisie. Vous ne l'avez pas, non? Ah, ok. C'est pas un champignon.
D'accord. Parce que the major problem of Majhul is that it's a fungi. About insects, I don't know really. It's the program of date palms in Rashidiyah, so we don't know which we don't have it.
My colleague from Sudan.
For the second question, she asked about the variety couscous. Yeah, there was a very nice variety which is 2777. It's Kiperonda, yeah. It's called Kiperonda. And the INRA code was 2777. It's a good quality variety, but as I said, the problem is the cycle is long. It doesn't came to maturity early. And with climate change, we can't use that variety anymore. We have some crosses. We developed another variety using that Kiperonda in the cross. And we have the line is ready now, and we will present it in few years, maybe next year or the year after multiplication. But as you say, the quality is a very important trait, and now we released 5 years ago. We released new varieties with yellow index that gives that color. We are interested also in protein content, gluten content, and other quality traits. But we have developed 3 new varieties carrying that gene of yellow index, and the color is very, very yellow. That's where we have released. Now it looks like Kiperonda variety, but it's shorter. The cycle is shorter, of course, and the quality is very, very good.
Thank you, Dr. Manon. My colleague would like to ask a question.
Okay. Morning to all. I am Al-Wasir Mukhtar, University of Khartoum, Sudan. I think gene banking is very important. And I'm very pleased to hear Dr. Bird says that their information and the knowledge is available online, so it is accessible to make use of it. I would like to quote an example from Sudan, which is very disappointing. 3 months ago, we have carried out or conducted a consultancy with FAO about livestock marketing and drought resilience. Through the survey in 3 states of Sudan, we learned that some important species, vegetable species or grasses is completely disappeared in vast hectares, and non-valuable species replace them or take place. I don't know, I'm not agronomist, I'm specialized in agriculture extension and development, but I would like to ask Dr. Ali and Dr. Abdalali 2 questions, one for each. The first one for Dr. Ali, he is a breeder, wheat breeder. What are the bases of selection of the genes? Does it based on the local knowledge for the local people, the observation of the palatable weeds or palatable grasses in the area, or on scientific background or both? And why importing certain yeast from certain area, for example from Brazil, as it is appeared in the presentation, to make use of that? And for Dr. Abdalali, he says that they share this knowledge with the population. The knowledge of deep banking with the population. How they share this knowledge with the commons. Through recommendations to authorities to be reflected or dissemination of seeds to the pastoralists or the farmer, or not, or on how, what are the approaches of sharing this knowledge. Thank you.
For your second question, sorry, it's for INRA. We organize open days to show farmers because when the variety is released, we multiply it with seed company, marketing companies. So we organize these open days with farmers to show them our multiplication program, and also in the same time we show them the CIHEAM varieties. And for this purpose, this is something that was said by Dr. Lamari, is that they are associating farmers to selection. So this is participatory approach, he said. But I know that it is not necessary, but it's not general, but it's an approach, participatory approach, and it will help to adoption of this. It will have adoption, but also relevance of the research programs, breeding programs. And also what was said by Dr. Memo about yellow index, it was something demand driven. It was asked by the millers, because we used to, even we have good production in Morocco, millers still import varieties from Canada, especially because they have high yellow index. Now with Dr. Imam, we are developing some varieties with this trait, technological trait, to cover this demand if the year is like you see it's favorable company. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. But as you say, the selection criteria mainly come from farmers.